river meets the valley, valley meets the rain. Everybody insane, rain meets. All right, The Toll out of Columbus, Ohio. Great band that I fell in love with when I was in college. But I already digress. Hoodie today is a chilly morning. 50-something degrees, like 54. I was like, there's a little bit of chill in the air. It won't be long. Till we have frost on the pumpkin. Welcome to the Eric Zane Show podcast, a daily show where I discuss my personal adventures, news, and nonsense in the world. From the Baldwin Ace Hardware each and every weekday, Monday through Friday, right here for the past nearly 4 years. Okay, a harsh realization yesterday, and that was at the gym. I spent plenty of time at our beloved YMCA, which, by the way, super sweet kid Courtney works there, and we happened to. She logs into the computer, and my ID shows up. And the ID that I have there, the image that accompanies my little ID, is the same picture that I took in 2004 when I started working out there nearly 20 years ago. And she's part of Team Knuckle Dragger with Brian and Andrew. And she goes, "Oh, my God, look how young you look." She goes, "Look how young and skinny you look." And I'm like, you don't know better, but you might as well just say, "Wow, now you sure are old and fat." And I'm like, "Yeah." And I look at it and I go, "Well, to me, I look the same." She goes, "Oh, no. No. You're much younger here and skinny. You're so skinny." I'm like, shut the fuck up. Are you kidding me? So yesterday, okay, we're at a point now in the workouts where we're in week 9 of 16. This week unfolds, and by the end of this week, you're looking at more than 50 miles. This is one of the bigger weeks in terms of mileage. I'm coming to the realization that I am not going to get any faster at this point. And I am reasonably sure that where I'm at right now in terms of speed, even right now, I would not be able to beat Mike Ball. Not only that, my knees hurt like fuck. So as the miles pile up, like yesterday, it was a long workout. It was you do a 1 mile warm up, and then you run a mile fast, not like exhausting, but fast, and then 2-minute rest. Do it. Then you do that 6 times. So we're looking at a lot of mileage on the day. It's a 7-mile day. Today, the recovery run is 9 miles. Now, I'm getting all of this in, but I'm just like, God, I'm just not. Shut up, Aram. Aram says that's a lot of jogging. I would bury your fucking ass, okay? There is no way you would touch me. I would destroy you. In fact, I would destroy all of the audience outside of Mike Ball. There is not a one of you that can beat me in a race. Half mile and up. None of you. Not a one. Aram says, I am not a runner. Well, that's because you're all show and no go. That's what I call assholes like you that sit around and do your stupid deep knee bends and your push-ups and shit like that. You are all show, no go. Your heart and lungs are that of a 70-year-old man. Okay, so shut up. All right. So then I'm like, God, you're just not fast enough. I need a, and then it's like, I know the answer. I know how I can get faster. I need to abandon the thought that by working out alone, I am going to get lighter, because the lighter you get, the faster you're going to be. And I'm just not light enough. So I'm like, shit, but I sure do love massive bowls of frickin' Cocoa Pebbles before bedtime. That's living. That is my joy. All of you assholes sit around and drink beer until you puke. And then you sit there and judge me, and all I'm looking to do is have a bowl of Cocoa Pebbles. But I must do something. I need, my God, I need more of a push to focus on how I'm going to eat. A lot of insults flying my way by you idiots. Corey says you need to work out with someone else to push you. The workouts aren't the problem. I'm getting the workouts done. Do you not even listen to me when I'm talking? I just described to you that I buried 6 1-mile repeats yesterday. Are you listening to the words I'm saying, idiot? It's not that. It's just I'm too slow and I can't run any fucking faster. Terry says, does it help that you have the gait of a toddler? What are you talking about? I have never, ever once seen you at the gym, okay? Because I walk on a paintball field or trot on the paintball field and I look like a moron does not tell you how athletic or not athletic I am. Would you ever consider, asshole, that my knees hurt? Okay, I will fight all of you today. All right, you guys don't know shit. None of you. You all act like you do, and you sit there in your homes and you type away your keyboard warriors. Get out. I've had it. I would love to see every one of you, all of you at the gym, okay? Take a fistful of ibuprofen and call it good. You know, I can't take that. I actually can't. I can take Tylenol, but I cannot take ibuprofen. Why? Well, it's the kidney thing. Yesterday, with only one, you can't take it. You got to take Tylenol is filtered through the liver. Anyway, stupid. Listen to me. Yesterday, as I was approaching the treadmill, I walked behind this dude who I know him, but I don't know his name, of course. And as I walk by him, I get a not so subtle blast of body odor. And few things get to me as much as body odor does. And it's like, it actually grosses me out. I would say that the number one horrible thing that can rock me to my core is when O'Neill, who's laying over here on the ground, eats a couple of turds in the backyard, and then like a handful of minutes later, burps. So you're getting a burp of consumed crap inside of his stomach. What? Yeah, that's a real thing. How hideous is that? That's like if you are like in a room where this happens, he'll go, and you know you have about 3 seconds to get out. So it's literally drop whatever you're doing and get away and leave the room for a significant time, because the parts per million is high. You just don't want to be anywhere around him. That is probably the number one most debilitating thing that I could encounter. but body odor is also strong. And this guy was ripe. You have multiple rows of treadmills. And with a nose this big, it's just more sensitive. And there's people next to the guy. And I'm like, how are they doing that? How are they actually doing that right now? So I was also in the front row. And I go, well, I'm several treadmills down. I go, I can't do it. It's just I'm getting too much stink. Stop the machine, and I go back 2 rows. Not far enough. I had to go way on the other side of the facility in order to pull this off. And I was like, wow, that is potent. And, I mean, I know it when I smell, and then I make the necessary changes. How is it that you can survive that? I'm telling you, there are all sorts of various evolutionary things that have taken place that need the human beings need to be recalled. That whole dynamic of being able to smell yourself either when you're taking a dump or you have body odor, and just like you don't even notice. That to me is absurd and hideous, and it drives me crazy. Okay, so anyway, back to my point. I gotta drop. If I can drop 10 to 15, I will be in so much less pain because my knees actually hurt. I'm getting to a point now where I'm concerned that as the mileage piles up, that I'm going to actually cause some type of overuse, longer-term overuse injury that's going to keep me from actually getting the workouts done. As it stands right now, like right now, my knees are hurting me as I'm sitting here. And you might notice I'm like, see me like under the countertop here, like rubbing it, and it gives you the impression that I'm doing something terrible like Gary Busey. But I'm trying to get my knees to crack, which is insane because there's just pain. And I'm like, all right, what the hell? Oh, God. So if this might be just what the doctor ordered, but in order for me to do this, that's 8 weeks of focused, attentive eating. And last night I got back from the gym and I'm like, all right, but I'm starving and we have no food. The best I could muster was chips and hummus and then a bagel. So, yeah, tons of carbs. Yeah, I think that this is actually harder than the workouts. Because you got to eat. My God. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. There is a trend going on in the world that is called quiet quitting. And this is perfect. This is absolutely perfect for people that are under 40. And I had a discussion today. Hold on. Daisy? Please, knock it off. Sorry, the dog. I had a discussion with my brother, regular Mike, the other day. I have all older brothers. I'm the youngest of 5. And Mike is, he's approaching retirement age, 64 years old, worked as a cabinet maker, carpenter his whole life. And I'm talking to him about work, and he goes, again, he's been doing this since he was, in high school, carpentry. He's forgotten more than most people will ever learn in this trade. And he's describing to me that at where he works, if there's ever a moment that he's talking to someone, as he describes it, under 40, about maybe options to make their jobs easier or help them or tutor them in some way, shape, or form, they look at him like he's an asshole and he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about, and they'd rather do it their way, and they usually do it wrong, and they usually have no work ethic whatsoever. That's what he describes. He's in the trades, out in the field. He sees it, And his opinion is that anyone under 40 is a pile of shit when it comes to work ethic. And then I hear about this trend called quiet quitting. So I guess this has something to do with the pandemic, which this is bullshit, because I think that since all of that has happened, now where we are today on the 23rd of August, by the way, the day before my lovely Madison turns 20. That's right. People are looking towards the pandemic as the excuse for everything. Okay? And they're like, well, you see, I'm realizing that the world has a lot to offer, that if I could just maybe unwind a little bit more and you'll spend a little bit more time for the things that are important, I'd be happier. And what they're suggesting there is do less at work so that you can do more worthwhile things at home, which in theory sounds great. You know? I mean, I get it. I can understand how you would do that. And they're saying the reason why is because it might have something to do with the pandemic. Maybe they were at home more and they interacted with their family more. And they're like, oh, well, this is just great. My first thought on this is, why don't you make sure everybody else is on board with that at home? Because they might not want you around in the first place. So I don't know. But maybe that is the case. I don't know. So what people in the workplace are doing in the workforce here in the U.S. is they're giving less, and they're not working a little bit harder. They're doing the bare minimum to get by and keep the job, but not stressing out and not making sure that basically 40 hours a week. All right. Not my problem. Not my job. That attitude. Now, if you think about it, this has been the case already. If you're a union employee, you already do this. You know, I mean, how often have we heard about union employees and, well, no, I mean, you got to have the light bulb changer to change that. I can't do that. It's not my job. I'm not contracted to do that. You know, these fucking shovel leaners. Yeah, so this has been around a long time. Bummer if you're listening to this and you're in a union right now, but come on now. You have those protections. You should do that. You know? Nick says, I just stayed at the same job 22 years. Now I have 6 weeks vacation and 10 holidays. Sam the Jew says, we have had young guys say, I don't get paid enough to not talk at work. He also says, Eric, we deal with the same behavior in our cabinet shop too. I'm 36 and I'm certain your brother would love to work with me. Now that I believe. When I make the broad accusation people are under 40, those are his words. But I'm sure you're an outlier, and there will be outliers to this. But I think that when more, as this is progressing, you're getting more and more people that are starting to feel this way. Adam says, I'm in a union. This is true what you're saying. Kent says wages should all be commission. If you work production, you get paid per good part you make. By the way, I just saw you, Kent, in a commercial for Johnson's Carpet One discount outlet on some ad I opened up online, and there you were, and the boys at the discount outlet. It was awesome. All right. Corey says business takes advantage of people. Workers are starting to push back. You see, that's where you're wrong. What you have in front of you is an opportunity. And I want everybody to do this quiet quitting. I think it's great because for people like Sam And for people like me who would work circles around anyone like Corey, who is kind of a sloth, you can just sense it. He just has that type of attitude when it comes to work. Corey's a quiet quitter. I can promise you that. Love you, but you are. So because of you, what you do is you lower the bar for people like me, Sam the Jew, Nick the electrician, who have something that you don't. It's called work ethic. It's an American thing. Okay? And because of that, because of our work ethic, we what do you say? To the victor go the spoils. We get the good things in life and we have to work less because of it nowadays, because of the quiet quitters. Before, we had to work our asses off to get anything good. But because the quiet quitters are lowering the bar, it makes it easier for the people like me. So thank you. All we have to do is just a little bit more than the minimum to make you idiots look like the slime balls that you are and take advantage of the scenario. So now we're doing the minimum. We only have to do the minimum because of you quiet quitters. So for that, I salute you. You've made life easier for all of us. So because of all the people under 40 who don't give a shit, that's what we have. The guy from Shark Tank. Do you remember Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank? This guy right here. This is one of the sharks. He's talking about this in this article that I was just checking out. And he's saying, yeah, it's a terrible thing. This all has become a popular thing on TikTok and in the media since late July. Essentially means setting boundaries in your workplace and not taking on more work than necessary. 1 in 10 employees say they are currently putting in less effort than they did 6 months ago. Quiet quitting is really a bad idea, says O'Leary, an investor and star of Shark Tank, and that's true for multiple reasons, he says. First, employers value hungry, keen workers, people that go beyond to try to solve problems for the organization, their teams, their managers, their bosses. Those are the ones that succeed in life. O'Leary says he looks to hire people who are willing to put in 25 hours a day, 8 days a week. If you're shutting off your laptop at 5 p.m., like Corey, it even says Corey's name here, and going home, you're not working for me. So the people who have the keys to the business are seeing scumbags like Corey who work like idiots. They're probably not effective at their time and just sit there and play fucking games online. They get nothing done through the day. And then the boss is like, what am I going to do? Fire him and start all over? No. So you have losers like Corey in the workplace. This is why I'm so much better than people like Corey, because in a lot of ways, I think like Corey in terms of like social justice and things like that. But I have a right-leaning lunch pail mentality work ethic, which makes me 1,000,000 times better than him. That's why I'm great. Anyway, O'Leary also says you need a strong financial base to afford choosing how you want to structure your life and days. Limiting the hours you work per day, he says, is not conducive to the kind of success that brings that freedom, especially early in life. His point is this: work your ass off early, save your pennies, take advantage of your increased work ethic and energy and stamina and strength because you're young and full of robust, full work ethic, and you climb the ladder, and then you make the money, and then you can coast when you're, 50, 60, whatever. But no, these assholes like Corey, want to put the cart before the horse. There's no question about it. Personal happiness is something that is a balance between work and life, O'Leary says. It has nothing to do with 9 to 5. There is no balance in the pursuit of personal freedom. It's all about pedal to the metal. Proponents of quiet quitting, like Corey in Maine, disagree. For them, taking the foot off the pedal to ensure they work 40 hours a week instead of 60 means spending more time with people they love and doing activities they love. Yeah. All right. Good luck with that. They don't even want you around because you're annoying. Maggie Perkins, a former teacher who's posted about quiet quitting on TikTok, says it's about spending time with her kids. They're never going to be 3 and 4 years old again. All right. Hold on to that. What asshole parent wants to spend time with 3 and 4-year-olds? Those are some of the worst years of their lives and will be of your life. No one wants to spend time with asshole kids, okay? So you got a person like this Maggie Perkins, who's a teacher, former teacher, cakewalk job to begin with. By the way, school's starting. Welcome back, teachers. Hope you enjoyed your 3-month vacation. Teachers are, they're like, oh my God, I'm so overworked. But you are not. Shut up. Anyway, she ended up quitting that job. And now she's like, instead of grading papers, I get to play with my 3 and 4-year-olds. Well, what a glutton for punishment, man. I look back at those years when they're 3 and 4 years old, and I'm like, okay. All right, when are you going to grow up? All that is just a labor of love. You're just kind of like putting in the time and getting them through this so that you can actually have a normal conversation with them when they become adults. Jesus. O'Leary says that kind of approach does not maximize the dividends you could more fully enjoy later in life. It's a sacrifice, he says, but is it worth it? Oh, yes. Okay, so if you're sitting here quiet quitting and you're not making advancements in your career, you know what you're not doing? You're not earning more money, okay? Which means you're going to be able to save less for when you get old. And you know who's going to hate that? Your kids when you die and they go, all right, let's get into the estate and see what mom and dad left us. And you didn't leave them anything because you didn't have a pot to piss in because you worked like an asshole. So get your fucking ass out there and quit your quiet quitting bullshit, you pain in the ass losers. Another reason why millennials are the worst. Millennials, and the only thing worse is Gen Z. Oh, my God. Man. Jesse says, all right, I am on board with this one. My kids are here quarantined while I'm working. Makes me want to start drinking by 9 a.m. most days. Thank God you're there just to keep them safe. But, there's no question. It's a horrible life having to take care of your kids. Jesus. The worst. Amanda's opinion is the reason why they are asshole kids is because the parents aren't spending the time with them. The asshole babysitters are. Yeah, maybe not. I mean, I spent a ton of time with my kids, and they were the biggest assholes on the planet. Don't give me that. The reason why kids are assholes is because they're assholes. Jesse writes, ha ha! We're listening to a guy tell us how this quiet quitting is working is bad from a guy who sits around and tells stories all day. LOL. You asshole. What a dick. Are you kidding me? I grind all day, every day. That is bullshit. You think this is easy? I tell you what, let's trade jobs, dick face. You sit in here and do what I do for a day, and I'll do what you do for a day, and then we'll compare notes, cock. So, quiet quitting is the worst. Aram says, didn't you spend all your time triathlon training while they were young? No, I didn't start triathlon training until they were well past that stage. Well past that. So nice try, Mr. All Show and No Go. Corey says, you design the substations and I will tell the poop jokes. All right, well, maybe I don't have a knowledge base you have, so I couldn't design a substation. But if I had the knowledge you had, I can promise you I would work circles around you. Easy, without a doubt. And nobody works harder than me. No one. Not a single one of you. I would make you tired you just watching me work. There's no way. Terry adds, grumpy today, guy? Haven't tuned in weeks. Absolutely not. I am not grumpy in any way. I feel great. I'm just telling you, I don't like the fact that there's a thing where people are like, well, I'm just going to do the bare minimum. I am a quiet quitter. So, all right. And Amanda earns points with, yes, I have to admit, Eric, your work ethic is something I admire. Well, I appreciate that. Corey adds, when I first came out of school, I had great work ethic. But corporate America kind of beat it out of me. So I'm super jaded now. Yeah, we call that soft. That's what that is. Soft. I'm jaded. I'm hurt. You're weak. All right. For those of you that are enjoying the show on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, I appreciate you very much for checking out this intro. But the rest of the show, you're going to have to catch it on Twitch. Twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Okay? The full show happens uninterrupted there. So if you want the rest of it as it happens live, you got to get it twitch.tv/Eric Zane Live. Of course, you can always download the audio podcast wherever you download shows. After this one gets done, I'll post the audio of this, and off you go. You can listen at your leisure. Wherever you download shows, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, if you would subscribe to those. And throw a review at me. That would be fun, too. Thank you so much for that. But there you go. I'm going to toggle you off. That sounds very sexual. I'm going to toggle you off, and you will be on your way. Thank you for checking this out.